kind of chatting. Excuse me. We're gonna be chatting about solo leveling. We may get into episode 1 and 2, but we're definitely going to be diving into kind of sharing our views on it and sharing what we know so far.
Stream crashed. uh,
Let's
all
give
right, I'm back.
Incognito a minute.
I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. All right. Let me make sure it's fucking on the right shit though. All right. Is it doing the right thing?
Yeah, and then afterwards we might be getting in some Fortnite or just some gaming. And
All right, man. Bring us in. I'm ready.
all right, guys. So we are starting a new segment. Going to be diving into a couple different animes and shows throughout our kind of. It's somewhat of a podcast. So today we're going to be talking about Solo Leveling episode 1 at the least. So I'm here with Incognito, kind of going to be looking at just animes and analyzing those as we move through each episode, talking about them. So, Incognito, go ahead and set us up.
Yeah, man. So as Alex said, we're gonna be talking solo leveling today. So just be aware there will be spoilers. Not gonna get too deep into everything, just because we want to leave some room for thought. Basically, watch our video, then you go watch the actual episode that way. So it's not everything spoiled. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I said, solo leveling. It's from the Japanese animation studio A1 Pictures, and in case you don't know anything about solo leveling, it follows the MC Jinwoo Sung. He is an E class hunter. So what that basically means is being E class, my man's is fucking lame. No money, no hoes, no clout, no powers. Basically, what that means. And despite all that, my man's is still trying to work, still going out there, risking his life every single day. Um, and that's kind of like a very brief, quick explanation of things. But A1 has also animated a lot of other animes, but the most notable being Fairy Tail, Sword Art Online, and Seven Deadly Sins. Right now, just off episode 1, I see solo leveling having that potential to eclipse all of them. But go ahead and give me your initial thoughts on episode 1 entitled "I'm Used to It, Man."
Gotcha. Yeah, it episode 1 was kind of that introduction. Um, I was immediately pulled in whenever I was watching the introduction and how hunters just interacted with the world, how they introduced the world of solo leveling. You are immediately introduced to a number of just S rank hunters that are the peak of hunting. And hunting, for guys that don't really know, I will say you may want to watch the episode before, or kind of this is definitely going to have some spoilers in it. Um, for in solo leveling, what really grabbed my attention is that you are introduced to how monsters and these came world. There are a number of different monsters, different abilities that the hunters possess, and the fact that when these portals were awakened, the powers were. And in the world of solo leveling, there is no work harder to gain power. It's you are born with what you've got. Only way to pretty much upgrade your powers pay to win. Really, um, go into these dungeons, you find these I believe they're shards or are they crystal?
Both, both. There's both.
Gotcha. Yeah, so you find these shards and crystals, and the government uses these
The crystals.
crystals, shards, these artifacts, I guess you would call them, to build new equipment, build new armor, build new weaponry to combat these portals and these monsters. And the scale goes from S, A, B, C, D, and all the way at the bottom is E, and that's where find our uh, main character. What's his name?
Yeah, Jinwoo.
Jinwoo, and Jinwoo exhibits almost zero power, but his willpower to survive are immediately just drawn to Jin, and how he has a almost an uncanny, like, his superpower is that he can't die almost. Uh, he makes it out of the most outrageous scenarios. He's almost died multiple times. And really on a scale of 1 to 10 on how quickly it just grabs your attention, I'd say it's a good 8 out of 10 of how my interest was immediately peaked. What about you, Nico? What was your initial thoughts?
Yeah, for me, I can definitely say that Solo Leveling did a fantastic job with grabbing my attention. In the beginning, you're introduced to a little flashback of 3 years prior to the first beginning event of the story, and that alone was amazing. It did leave a lot of questions, but we'll get further into that. I'm not sure about in this episode, but in the next episodes we will, because it kind of did explain a little bit more on that. But it also showed us a bit as of the monsters as well as various hunters, where I'd say about 90% of the population is probably in that D to B range. There's not many A hunters, and there's even fewer S. But even seeing the upper echelon of them S rankers, I think we saw four of them. I'm not too sure who their names were. Y'all probably know. I'm not learning that shit off one episode. But yeah, seeing them was really fucking cool. The animation for their abilities, awesome. Um, it's not Mappa levels or anything like that. You're not getting like Studio Ghibli or anything, but it kept me intrigued. It kept me wowed. Um, I think probably one thing they could have done is shown a little bit more action in that first episode. There was a few things here and there. They showed off some magic. It just didn't do anything too crazy, but it drew me in just because this is already my type of like show setting. I'm a huge fan of what's it called, Shield Hero. I love Shangri-La Frontier, and those all kind of give me the same type of vibe with this show. But enough about that little intro bit. Let's get into the juicy things. How do you feel about the story so far? Are you excited? Are there any green or red flags? Do you have any questions?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. There's a lot of questions still open, and I think that's what really makes the show a almost a hidden gem at this moment. You really don't know which way it's going to go, but from the initial impression, it's truly has the potential. I think just the deeper meaning of the word hunter creates a lot of internal struggle for Jinwu, which creates a green flag, in my opinion, that character, the main character, has a lot of layers in his actual personality, in his life. Jinwoo gives us a glimpse into his struggles, and he speaks about his family and their medical slash financial struggles. How he has a sister and a mother, and the mom is just kind of bedridden. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and the only person taking care of the family, dad's out of the picture, is Jin Woo, which kind of pushes him to even attempt these dungeons that are even E level dungeons are a life or death scenario for this
Yeah.
guy. Uh, the initial impression just screams to me over and over again. It's a pay to win. You've got if you get certain um, crystals, shards that are in each level of dungeon, and each tier will give you more valuable shards or crystals, and you sell those to the government, and they pay you out. But each level, you're getting paid bigger and better prizes. Uh, so if you can only handle an E level dungeon, you are struggling. You know, you're putting your
Yeah,
life on
like
the line, but you're still struggling every single day.
exactly. Like you're making rent basically. Maybe not even that.
Right, right. And it also shows once again those layers. It shows he he has a female interest that is brought up into the show pretty quickly, and you kind of tell that he keeps his distance, but she doesn't allow that. She's that headstrong. I'm gonna watch after you kind of deal. Um, that right there, once again, is a green flag. Great first episode, in my opinion. Um, the only thing that I feel was a tough pill to swallow is that you aren't gonna really, at least from that first episode, you do not see a rags to riches. You do not see the struggle, the grind, the um, that Naruto esque uh, power game that a lot of people enjoy, and they want to see that underdog upset the balance of power. But with the title solo leveling, it's not completely out of the picture, but it's going to be interesting to see how they continue to develop Jinwoo. Red flags, in my opinion, the only the big red flag is just how they plan on building the power system around Jinwoo. Um,
Mm, mm,
just at least from the first episode is what is gonna change. Is it that is the power balance going to be completely upset? Just their brains are far better than mine to explain or understand
yeah,
this in this moment. Um,
yeah.
but it's going to be a fun ride, and I think that it's got a lot of excitement from me. Um, really they unveil, which I think I'm excited for the most, is the unveiling of different powers and how they interact with the world, because we see a number of different powers just from the S ranks that are introduced in the flashback from three
Hmm.
years ago. You see, I believe it's just super strength or extreme prowess. I guess you see healing, you see, I believe, flame control.
Yeah, flame control. There's like lightning,
Hmm.
healing. Um, I think there's a few others, but I'm not sure as of this point. There's probably a lot more. It seems like there's some type of speed. I don't know if speed can be a power in this, but I'm not gonna lie, I did watch a little bit ahead, so I do know a little bit more. uh, there's a speed type of element. I'm not sure if it's a power or if they just like you were saying earlier, it's physical prowess. But I think it might be like a speed type thing.
It's definitely possible. I mean, in the world, it almost seems as if it doesn't give me My Hero vibes, but it gives me a similar feeling of powers. It's almost anything is possible. And, like I said, that is one of the big things that I'm excited for, is to see the powers and how they unfold, and how um, you know, e- I'm honestly excited to see how this equipment continues to increase power levels. Really,
Hmm.
you get to see a glimpse of, I think, Jinwoo's hidden power. The
Yeah.
How quickly his mental works and how quickly he's able to sense danger is they hint on it at the very end of the episode. But that's enough of me talking. What do you think about the story, man?
It's definitely piqued my interest. I think it leaves a lot of questions in my mind. For starters, how the fuck did these gates just randomly open? Second, how did these hunters start to fucking manifest their innate magical abilities? And I think the one that's in my head the most is how the hell is Jin Woo gonna become relevant in a story where if you're born a fucking plebe, you're gonna stay a plebeian? Um, but with all that in mind, looking forward, I'm looking very forward. I'm looking, Jesus fucking Christ, I'm looking forward to how the story is gonna progress. Um, I want to see the MC really come into his own. I want to. you mentioned like family struggles, financial struggles, love struggles as well. I want to see how he's gonna build around that. Um, Fuck it, we're gonna talk about the second episode already. End of the second episode, uh, there's an event that goes on, and at this point, in my mind, I'm seeing things like, oh fuck, this motherfucker is about to be on demon times in the third episode. It, I'm not gonna go too far into it, but at this point, I'm like, it's another layer. It's another layer. He's a kind man in the beginning. Kind man just wants to support his family, like you said, is his mother's, and she's in an eternal slumber. Basically, it also happened around the same times as the gates started open, which is another fucking question in my head. Um, but where the fuck was that? But yeah, it at the end of that second episode, we begin to see a new Jinwoon. That's his fucking name. Yeah, a new Jinwoo. At that point, I'm like, oh shit, is this gonna turn into a completely new, different type of Hook? Is this man finna be a fucking asshole from now on? Is he finna say, I had my fucking glow up, fuck y'all, y'all didn't fuck with me, y'all called me the weakest motherfucker alive, which that is also his fucking nickname is the weakest hunter to ever live or some shit like that. And I was like, that's a long ass fucking nickname, but whatever. Um, that I have to say is my main fucking thing. No, just how are they gonna make someone who has no ability, can't fight? This man's fragile, like you said before. The man dies or almost dies all the fucking time. He got lost in a fucking maze,
Yeah,
almost starved to death.
and then even in the first episode, you're really introduced to his struggles, man. They go into an what a D level uh dungeon,
Yeah, it's
and
D, I think.
they don't even find the tough part, the leader of the dungeon, and he's already on
It's
death's door. He needs to be
man, man,
healed in the first couple minutes of the
yeah,
dungeon.
he gets fucking pieced up, pieced the fuck up. Um, I know you kind of touched on your power system, like the power system in the show a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and touch on that as well. Um, for starters, I don't love the fact that a hunter is kind of born with that cap. Me, I'm all about being a fucking grinder. Um, One of my favorite arcs ever is the Naruto Shippuden arc where he learns his Rasen Shuriken. That man's out there fucking grinding day and night, 16-hour shift. Every time he fucking goes to sleep, the man's on the verge of what's it, physical exhaustion. He doesn't want to go to sleep. He has to. But
That's
I feel
even
like with Hunt,
prevalent in My Hero, which,
yeah, even there.
yeah, once again, it's that grind. Everyone loves a good story of an underdog rising above.
And for me, I don't think we're gonna see that, and I'm kind of sad because I feel like at that point he ain't got that fucking dog in him. I mean, yeah, he wants to provide for the family, but he's not really gonna be fucking grinding for it. Like, he hasn't mentioned any type of training. He hasn't learned he's trying to fight. He's just like, yeah, I keep going in there, keep almost dying, but I'm doing it for my family. I'm like, but we're not doing anything about it. Where's your training arc? Where's your I gotta get fucking ripped? There's none of that so far, and it sucks. Um, I think I do, however, like the use of the essence stones. That is what they're called, by the way. Um, and basically you get those whenever you defeat a monster. Um, I don't know if they fucking dig around in there and grab them, but they always just like, oh, we got a fucking stone after defeating one. So I think they're inside, but I'm not sure. Um, and you touched on it as well. Higher ranked monsters, higher ranked dungeons, they have better loot, obviously. Um, but the stones, like you said earlier, they're used to craft weapons, armor, stuff like that, that are extremely valuable to hunters, as well as the government. They're kind of tinkering with the idea of getting a new energy system out of it. Um, but yeah, I think with that in mind, I'm just excited. I want to see Jinwoo progress. I want to see how the fuck do you pull this shit off. I know some of you have probably seen future Jinwoo, or I don't know if it's a time skip or what, but this man's like 8 inches taller. He's fucking jacked. My man goes from looking like a normal fucking kid to like, oh, it's a fucking David of a man right here. This man's a chiseled god. But I'm excited to see how are you gonna pull it off. Maybe he does go into training arc. Maybe something changes. I don't know. But
It's also
since
worthy
we're
to note that due to his mother's eternal slumber and her indefinite stay in the hospital and his sister, he's putting her through school financially. He has zero money to even buy equipment. He cannot purchase equipment. Every dollar that he scrapes out is going straight back to taking care of his family. So he can't get better. He's just live. It almost is once what like you said, he is a good man that is caught in a weird
man,
moment.
I feel like it's a fucking metaphor. You can try as hard as you can, but unless you got the money for it, you're gonna stay in the same spot. But yeah, I feel like we're at this point we're kind of eating up time here. So tell me this: would you recommend this off only one episode, or even two? We watched two.
Yeah, yeah. I did watch two, and off of the first episode, I would say that it drew me in deeper and gave me that excitement, that wonder, and I would definitely recommend this. At least see it through, 3 episodes or so, and just give it that try. The only thing, in my opinion, that really drags it down is the power leveling system and how there really is no leveling. It's all pay to win, which kind of left a foul taste in my mouth, But like you said before, after seeing, Nico speaking on a couple of spoilers, if he is grown by inches and he's ripped and jacked, I do hope that there's somewhat of a power chain or a training arc. But at the same time, it's kind of cool to see. It almost like when forget which show it is, but when something very crazy happens and get turned into a vampire, a demon, whatever it is, and you come back to school and you're 3 inches taller and you are stronger,
Mm-hmm.
faster, cooler. No one wants to mess with you. It's going to be fun to see that if that is how the show progresses. Everyone
Yeah,
that was
definitely.
looking at him as that E class piece of shit is now going to be looking up to him as if he was never even a plebeian to begin with, which is um, a fun parallel to what he's used to, and I wonder if that's going to affect his mental at all. Like I said, in my opinion, I would definitely recommend this. The only thing that you got to get used to is that power system. What about you, Nico?
Definitely, definitely. Um, I agree. I can definitely recommend this anime. When I first watched the first episode, I had to stop myself from just watching everything in one go, just to keep it kind of fresh in my memory. But with that being said, you really can't binge this. There's only 5 episodes out right now. I think they come out on a weekly basis. I'm not sure what day. But keeping that in mind, I'm gonna rest my case. I'm gonna give Solo Leveling a solid off the first 2 episodes, 6.5 to 7 out of 10. In no way am I saying it isn't good. I just kind of need to see more. We've seen this a lot where there will be 1 or 2 good episodes in the beginning, and then it's kind of plateaus. It even goes down. But I think this has a lot of potential. And just to throw in one more thing, I love how you keep saying pay to win because like I said, I did watch a little bit ahead, so there is an instance where that pay to win becomes very very apparent. Jinwoo goes to do another dungeon, and you meet someone. You're just like, damn, this motherfucker totally Alex is spitting. This shit is pay to win. But I saw that and I was like, damn, Alice is right.
I
Um,
do not think that the pay to win system is a bust because it'll create some good scenarios. Like you said, if he
yeah,
runs into a trust fund baby that's out there in the hunter world, he's getting dogged. I mean, it's you can't come out into the world of life or death and expect to just win based off of paying to win. But hopefully, hopefully we can see some of that in live action. But
it's closer than you think, man. uh,
yeah, my
but
personal
yeah,
opinion, I'd say it's a solid 7 and a half out of 10 in terms of recommendation.
all right. Well, once again, I'm Incognito, and thank you so much for giving us the time out of your day. And so, just basically take my word for it. Give Soul Leveling a try, formulate your own opinion, then come back, tell us what you think. W or L cosign from me, and that totally Alex. You know, we both gave it the cosign. So come back, let us know.
Definitely, guys. Make sure you hop in the comment section. Let us know your thoughts on it. And make sure to check us out next week for episode 2. Thanks. Bye.